T.
Teacher Teletips, a film designed to aid teachers in classroom utilization of televised instruction.
I have the worst time getting my set tuned in.
Boy, look at all the equipment it takes to put out a fire that size.
I wonder if the firemen bring wieners and marshmallows to the fire.
Television in my classroom? How can I work it in? Our curriculum is so packed already.
Boy, that painting sure wasn't done in our art class.
I used to avoid teaching art since I never felt secure about it. Now with the TV series, my students and I are doing some really exciting projects.
Boy, I wonder how many Fig Newtons they make in one day there.
They sure use a bigger mixing pan than my mom.
TV in a classroom? Before you know it, we'll all be out of a job.
This is where all the astronauts' food is made. It sure does require a lot of handling.
TV in the classroom? Of course. It's natural for children these days to learn through a variety of media, and TV is one of them.
Boy, that poor little chicken. He must be exhausted. I bet you it's dark inside of that egg.
Replace me? Don't worry about that. The TV teacher and I are a team.
You betcha.
Can you imagine going through a steel mill in your own classroom? I wonder if those asbestos suits are very comfortable.
Yes, television does mean many different things to each of you. Some of you turn to TV for diversion after a long and trying day in the classroom. Events of the day which shape your lives locally, nationally, internationally are made more meaningful through the medium of television. Our horizons become limitless, and TV vicariously provides us with some adventurous moments. Whatever it means to each of you may vary greatly, but in any case, TV appears to have a great impact on children. Today's child has been brought up in an environment of audiovisual electronics. No longer is print the only pervasive medium through which learning is achieved. Today's child finds it natural to learn through a variety of media, and TV, one of the most powerful media, extends the student's learning environment beyond the wall of the classroom. But TV in the classroom? Is it a formidable electronic monster that threatens the capable classroom teacher? Or does it have an appropriate place alongside the teacher, textbook, and the chalkboard? Answers to these questions may come by, first of all, defining what television is not. Much damage has been done by extravagant claims made for TV. First of all, TV is not a substitute for the classroom teacher. Only in rare situations might it be asked to do the whole job of teaching. The serious responsibility of instruction still lies with the teacher in the classroom. The TV teacher becomes another resource, another member of the teaching team. He does his part of the teaching in the studio, making use of all available resources, content specialists, production technicians, and extra time to present an effective TV lesson. With this team approach, the classroom teacher can be freed of some of the responsibility for fact dispensing. She can spend more time in directing her energies toward motivating, stimulating, guiding, and encouraging individual learning activities. Unless the classroom teacher takes the lead, TV will not make any significant difference in the learning process. So TV is not an excuse for not teaching, although many teachers are still using it for that reason. TV in the classroom is not a cure-all for all of education's problems. And most importantly, TV does not have to be used for one purpose only. Its uses vary as widely as teaching methods and styles, depending on the needs and circumstances peculiar to a specific school or classroom. The classroom teacher, recognizing these unique needs and goals, will determine what TV is, what it can be in her classroom. TV can open the classroom to the world. It can bring unusual or inaccessible materials within easy reach of each student, involving him, giving him a front row seat for viewing events, demonstrations, perhaps objects too tiny and too intricate to study with the human eye. Through TV, teachers and above-average resources can be extended to larger numbers than would be possible under direct instruction. So we ask ourselves once again, TV in the classroom, a threat or a real assist to the teacher? Recognizing both the limitations and strengths of the medium, the classroom teacher who is skilled in using TV will find that this resource can really contribute to learning. So before we can expect a real contribution from television, we must know how to use it well. Good preparation for utilizing television in the classroom is no more elaborate or demanding than that which is required for using a textbook or a film strip. And the teacher who makes good use of any other resource is the one who will utilize TV effectively. But what are these basic skills, simple as they are, that are necessary? Is it merely a matter of turning on the TV set? Hardly. Through printed utilization materials, the classroom teacher can easily be given tips on how to arrange the room physically for the most effective viewing. Certainly with the normal creativity of classroom teachers, the standards suggested can be approached and even surpassed. By opening a window or two, the room will be adequately ventilated. Otherwise, you might lose your class to Morpheus. Darkening the room is not recommended because it could be harmful to the eyes. In some classrooms, darkening the room could be dangerous. If notes are required during a particular lesson, illumination is necessary. However, to eliminate reflection on the picture tube, a shade or two may have to be lowered with the television set turned away from the window. Other basic rules, such as viewing angles and the height at which the TV receiver is placed, are most important. And perhaps acquisition of the correct type of stand may require a few pointed suggestions to the administration. To prevent intrusions during the telecast, a do not disturb sign may be helpful. One never knows who or what might be lurking outside your classroom door. A principal coming to observe. The engineer to turn off the facilities for a few long hours. An irate parent with a not too good report card, or some other little problem. Determining wisely what telecourses to use is another skill. What is available? With the assistance of a schedule or program guide, one can find in which curricular areas televised instruction is offered. Can it be integrated? Well, if a particular telecourse appears to be of some interest to you, your next concern is to determine how well it can be integrated with your curriculum for this particular class. Will it enrich After studying the teacher's manual, which presents the content and objectives in detail, you may decide that the telecourse will enrich the curriculum by bringing into your classroom experiences and resources which would otherwise be difficult or impossible to provide. Will it meet your needs? Whether the telecourse will meet the needs and interests of some or all of your students can finally be determined by sampling a few of the lessons with your class. After having made a choice, still another skill is involved, that of deciding how to use the telecourse. Too often the assumption has been made that unless each and every lesson was viewed, one was doing a great injustice to the purposes of televised instruction. Again, the classroom teacher must determine whether the total series is to be viewed. In knowing the demands of her own curriculum and daily schedule, the needs of her students and her own strengths and limitations, she may see the benefits of utilizing the entire series. Further appraisal of the structure and design of the telecourse may suggest to the classroom teacher that some of the lessons grouped together reveal characteristics of a unit. Again, knowledge of her curriculum and student needs should indicate if the telecourse can be utilized via the unit approach. Selected lessons in a telecourse can often stand alone as a complete educational experience. Studies on classroom television have emphasized time and time again that the TV lesson has little impact without the involvement of the classroom teacher. Besides preparing the classroom physically before each lesson, it is essential that the teacher also prepare the students for viewing the lesson. Pre-telecast activities can vary greatly, and the nature of the lesson may suggest the types of activities. The teacher's manual accompanying the telecourse may offer some excellent ideas. Those, combined with your own, should provide meaningful involvement preceding the tele-lesson. Motivation for viewing the telecast may come from an outside resource, such as a person who has expertise in the subject area of the day's lesson. Vocabulary drills on technical words that they will hear during the lesson are most effective.
Remember, pronounce them clearly.
Condensation.
Right.
Precipitation.
Good.
Humidity. Water cycle.
Children may prepare visual aids or hold question and answer sessions to familiarize themselves with the lesson topic.
Water comes up through the subterranean deposits and evaporation from growing crops and forms bodies of water, and then it evaporates and becomes vapor.
Very good. Do we all agree with her?
Yes.
All right. How about condensation?
Condensation is when the vapor forms into clouds.
Notes taken during the telecast may provide guidelines for the follow-up discussion. During the telecast, the teacher should sit where she can view the lesson and observe student reactions. The televised part of the lesson was never intended to be a complete learning experience in itself. If it is followed up by related experiences, these activities may be carried on by students independently or as a class.
Okay. Okay, as you know, we've had Officer Swalgren in, and he's talked to us about the drug problem here in Highland Park. He's also mentioned some of the types of drugs they've used. All of this kind of information we've had presented to us on the TV, the officer coming in and all the rest. But there still remains a question in my mind, and that is just exactly what causes someone from our area to start taking drugs. I mean, you usually think of it as a ghetto kind of problem, but here we are in a upper middle class community, you know, with all the kinds of advantages, summer camps. We've got a million kinds of advantages, recreational departments, we've got large green spaces to roam and play in. Why? Why?
And they want to get away from it, then they take these drugs to feel good. And the reason I'm against it is because afterwards they've still got the problems to go to.
Doesn't solve the problem, you mean it just covers it?
Yeah, just for when the drug wears off, then they've got the problem.
Television in the classroom cannot possibly succeed without the enthusiasm and preparation of classroom teachers, who realize that their roles are, and must continue to be, central ones, while utilizing television and any of the available instructional tools. Teachers who well understand that their roles in the classroom can be more humanizing and less mechanizing if they know how to use the available tools efficiently. Education of our children has come a long, long way, but instructional technology, even with the help of television, has not yet reached the ultimate in development and diversity. Its potential for affecting the learning process has barely been tapped. Even with the increasing availability and lower cost of simplified videotape recorders, few teachers take advantage of the opportunity to tape lessons off the air, thus eliminating scheduling problems. Greater flexibility and distribution of materials are being achieved through remote access systems, which permit the individual users, with just the push of a button, to select and control programming from vast computer banks that whisk the information you desire over hundreds of miles in a matter of seconds. The implications of the satellite are exciting. Orbiting above our planet, they will broaden the availability of resources, providing a commonality of educational and cultural experiences to students anywhere in the world. The future holds much for today's student, tomorrow's teacher. So when a television set approaches your classroom door, extend a warm welcome to a valuable teaching assistant.